Hey folks, welcome to Team 25 Day 3. We just had a great keynote by Ben Gomes from Google, and also from Khan Academy, and that was moderated by Anu, the president of Atlassian. That was a great discussion and investigation on how AI can help education, which to me is pretty important. I do a lot of live learning, I do a lot of Udemy courses, and AI is this hot topic tool, and it feels like a lot of groups are trying to figure out how do we use it, or what do we do with it now that we have it. There were a couple things that stood out to me on it. The biggest one was kind of AI as a personalized teacher. And the example was Alexander the Great had Aristotle, and that was, a one-on-one. Today in our age, we can't all have our own personalized teacher that's going to help us explore topics and know what we want to learn. And in this example, Alexander, if he was interested in military strategy, they could talk about just that and tailor the learning. But with our education system, we can't do that. We have cohorts and groups of people, and we've lost that. So we've reached more people, but it's less targeted, less focused. AI can help us get there. We can have an AI agent that gets to know the student and then can adapt to what they want to learn. And something as simple as asking them, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to be a doctor. And then the AI has that knowledge and it can help find information and guide learning through that. Another great example that they had was you can talk to an AI bot and the bot takes on the persona of Abraham Lincoln. And so you can learn about Revolutionary America or something through history or some topic through that lens. So it's more interactive. I can imagine as a kid it being a lot more interesting to chat with an Abraham Lincoln to learn about these topics and being forced to read a textbook or something like that. So that really jumped out at me, and that's something that they even had during the chat. Ben was saying he'll talk to Gemini in the car about topics he's confused about to try and dig in. Or Sal Khan mentioned he had a discussion with the Khan, I forget the name of it, Khan's AI, Khan Academies, about why do stars explode when they go supernova, shouldn't they collapse? And the AI was able to help guide their thought process to get to the answer. It didn't just give it to them, but it challenged them and said, well, why do you think this happens? It pulled in other examples, which I thought was really neat and something that I'll probably start to tinker with and explore. Some other things that came out of that, they mentioned the number one employer of men aged 18 to 55 is some form of driving, and that to me was a bit mind-blowing. I know there's a lot of driving is necessary, but when we think of disruption, and they gave the example of Waymo, in 20, 30 years there won't be as many cars that a human has to drive. What's going to happen to that workforce, and how can they reskill or learn or do things? And having personalized AI instructors essentially help them find those skills and become a better whatever they want to be or go explore is going to be very useful and powerful, because that AI can provide the personalized insight they need or the personalized guidance that maybe they couldn't afford a bunch of private tutors. So AI can help unlock that. The concept of AI shortening the time it takes to increase your levels of capability also came up. I have this with coding. I use Gemini or ChatGPT to figure out how can I write code or how can I get started. It's not going to replace the need for someone to code, but for me, starting from zero, I can get up to at least where I know where I'm making the mistakes, and I can get help and get moving forward. So it helps accelerate our ability to become more capable in things, whatever that thing is. Coding's the easiest example, but it could be biology or how to use jQuery. Another good example they mentioned, it used to be a PhD thesis to define a protein, a biological protein, and now AI and computers can do it. So accelerating our ability to do these things that are important and that humans need to understand how it works. But just the repetitive nature and work, we have these tools that can help us do those things. So it was very interesting to hear them talk about how AI is going to work and how they are using it at Google in Learning and at Khan Academy to help students all around the world improve their education. And for me, that's really what a lot of this is about. How do we help lift ourselves and others with these tools? They're neat things, they can make fun pictures and make code, but really it's about how do we help that kid over there who doesn't have access to good schooling? How can we use these tools to elevate them? How can we help that struggling adult become a better version of themselves with these tools? So fascinating to hear and really looking forward to seeing where they go with it. Now, the rest of the conference is going on today. It'll shut down, I think, around 3. This hall closes, and then they have Bash, which is the big team event. I've got one more live event today, though. I'll be helping out my friends at Trello. Brittany and Mike, I'll be live streaming their event at TrelloCon. which is at a different location. But if you've got time, definitely check that out, especially if you don't know anything about Trello. I'm going to learn a lot. I really should know more about that tool, but Brittany's been great showing me some of the basics, and I'll get to hear them talk about it for a few hours. So it's like a mini conference just for Trello. So definitely check that out. I'll see if I can get the link down in the comments. And then tomorrow I'll have one more follow-up live stream with my good friend Brian, just talking about, what did we think about the conference, and what did we learn, and what's going on. So certainly more coming. Be on the lookout too for just other streamers. I'm going to go help out some of my friends in just a few minutes with their event. They have a little social media booth right around the corner, so you might see me on, I think it's the Jiro Life. I'll probably be behind the camera though. Anyway, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you're interested in learning about. Thank you so much for watching, and be on the lookout for more. And I'll see you soon.